Today I want to talk about the color brown, and specifically my tips for how you can wear this color, the variations within the color brown, including chocolate brown that's trending right now, and then tips that you can use to incorporate this into your wardrobe with color combinations and ways that are going to look chic every single time. So let's get started. So to start things off, I want to talk briefly about the color brown and kind of the variations that are available. So like any color, you can make it lighter or darker. So that entire spectrum is technically the color brown. At the moment, chocolate brown, or all the way down towards the dark end of the spectrum, is really popular. And then of course, within the light to dark, you can also have a warmer version or a cooler version. And really figuring out which type you prefer is a great starting point. So in order to do that, I think the easiest way is just go with your gut, go with your instinct, go with what you're naturally drawn to. Anything you think is pretty, you're gonna have a place for in your wardrobe and be able to work with the other colors that you like as well. And then beyond that, I think that it can be really helpful to look to clothes that you already have, makeup choices that you already have, and your accessories. See the colors and the types of brown that pop up again and again, and then kind of replicate that. It will not only ensure that you're getting something that you already love, but then also that it mixes and matches really well with what's already in your closet. Now, when it comes to the energy behind the color brown and kind of what we think of when we look at the color brown, for me, it feels very, very earthy. And especially those darker browns, they feel very rich and very grounded. There's something that feels like dirt or wet bark, like tree bark, like I've mentioned before. And then as you lighten it up, it feels a lot airier and brighter and softer. So many versions within the spectrum, and I think it's so important again to not only pick what you're naturally drawn to, but then also channel the energy that you want. So like the jacket that I'm wearing today, it's kind of like a mid brown, and I find that this works really well with a lot of the other colors in my closet. So again, trust your instincts and go from there. Now when it comes to actually wearing the color brown, I think the easiest place to start is with your accessories. The color brown is so perfectly suited for shoes, bags, and belts, and it's a really, really easy place to start, especially if you're kind of not really sure where to begin with this color and you don't know if you necessarily want clothing in this color. So I recommend, much like I mentioned earlier, choosing the one that you're naturally drawn to, but keep in mind your lifestyle, because if you're living somewhere that's really wet or rainy or snowy, going for a darker brown can be really valuable because it's not going to show those scuffs or those stains. But if you live somewhere really light and airy, maybe somewhere that's a little bit warmer, going for a lighter brown is a really great option, because that's going to be perfectly suited for that sunshine energy. So now I want to go over some of the colors that look particularly great with brown. I did a very condensed list because, like I mentioned at the beginning, brown is so versatile and so neutral that you can really pair it with any color. But I think that keeping a couple of these in mind is a really great starting point, because you probably have these colors in your wardrobe. They're easy to work with already, and they're also very neutral and very flexible. So it gives you a lot of working room within those color combinations, and nothing's going to feel too over the top. So of course I have to start off with matching brown with brown, and shades of brown all worn within the same outfit is so beautiful. And especially right now for fall 2024, we're seeing a lot of that really beautiful chocolate brown, and we're seeing those outfits from head to toe. So a top, a bottom, and then matching accessories. And it is so exquisite. It's a really rich color, and it just feeds into that luxurious feeling so beautifully. But you can of course do this with any variation of brown, whether that's a lighter one or a darker one. And then you can also do variations of light and dark within the same outfit, which I think feeds beautifully into the next one. And especially as you move lighter into that spectrum of brown and you get into like those tans or those camel colors, those look so gorgeous with all of the variations of brown. And wearing lighter brown and darker brown together gives a really beautiful contrast that's still all within the same family. So it's not too over the top. It's a nice way to kind of build some interest without stepping too far outside of your comfort zone. And it also goes so beautifully with those brown accessories. And then from there, I think that it's really, really nice if you pair brown with white or off-white. White and off-white is so easy to work with. You probably have this in your wardrobe as it is right now. And throwing a brown accessory on a white outfit or something that's, again, a little bit of a softer white, it looks so beautiful. It's incredibly timeless. And I think that it's also really versatile for most of the year. It works for spring, summer, winter, and fall. Another really great neutral to pair with brown, and especially brown accessories and maybe a brown bag, brown belt, brown shoes, or brown jacket, is the color gray. And just like the color brown, I think this looks beautiful in every variation, whether that's a really rich charcoal gray or something that's lighter and feels almost like a cloud, like a rain cloud. Those variations within that are so perfect. And I think it's a great way to anchor the gray. Gray can feel a little bit serious, a little bit grounded, a little bit ethereal, depending on where you are on that spectrum of light to dark. But within that, brown is such a great way to bring that earthiness back to it. So if ethereal is up here in the clouds, brown is down here on the ground, and you mix them together and it's just a beautiful combination. Incredibly classic and very, very chic. I also really love how brown looks with navy or varying shades of blue, whether that's a lighter blue or a mid blue or a darker blue. There's something really classic about the color blue, and because it's so prevalent in our lives, we see it in the sky every day or every other day if it's cloudy, then we have access to that color always, and that makes it really familiar and very recognizable. And keeping that in mind when you're building out your color palette can be really helpful, because we kind of know what colors go with that instinctively. And because it's nature, the color brown is perfect for that. So again, any version, light to dark, and have fun with it. And I think especially right now what feels so great for fall is something like denim on denim with brown accessories. And then you can of course lighten that up as you move into spring, and it feels so light and fresh and very classic. And then the last one that I wanted to mention is the color black. Of course, the color black goes with everything. It's a color that most of us have in our wardrobe. And I love this with the color brown because when you make it a real distinct difference between the two of them, it's almost like pairing navy with black. It's unexpected but very, very chic. So my recommendation here is to make sure that you can clearly see the difference between the two of them. Otherwise it can kind of blend a little bit and maybe not give you the impact that you're going for. So either change the texture in your black and your brown so that they contrast, or change the color a little bit. So I love to go for a really dark brown, a really dark black, and then go for a really lighter brown or something a little bit softer. And those two together are so gorgeous. It feels kind of equestrian. It feels very, very classic, and I think it's incredibly versatile and a nice way to kind of lighten up your black pieces. So I hope that this is helpful. Like always, I love making color videos because especially when it comes to a color like brown that's kind of a neutral, it can feel a little bit too obvious sometimes to pair with other colors, and then we can avoid it as a result. So I hope that these were helpful, and definitely let me know if there's any of these combinations or one that I didn't mention that you really love with the color brown. Also, if you're interested in learning more about color combinations and color palettes and how to really personalize your color palette and build that out for your wardrobe, I'm working on a very exciting project that will be launching very soon, and I'm going to put a link in the description box for the sign up so you can be the first to know. And like always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Have a great day.